easier and more effective way to deep clean oral appliances. After scouring through the research, they discovered the hidden crisis. A worldwide rise of oral appliance usage, unhygienic appliances have become an epidemic, with acid-producing bacteria eroding enamel and damaging teeth over time, causing serious harm to your oral health. Outdated cleaning methods have dominated our routines for far too long, compromising on either scrubbing power or proper sterilization. They're also manual, messy, and mundane. The latest studies show brushing is ineffective at the microscopic level, and those tablets leave behind bacterial biofilms, both fueling the dental disaster. So after 2 years of engineering in London, leveraging ultrasonic technology from the clinical dentistry field, we developed the first retainer cleaning machine, effortlessly deep cleaning your retainer, a line of guard, or other oral appliance at the touch of a button. Just add water, and the ultrasonic scrubbing action gets to work, leaving you with a crystal clear and hygienically clean oral appliance. For the truest test, in our controlled trials, we took patients' brushed retainers, placing them in the dental pod versus popular tablet brands. At the touch of a button, the dental pod restored the retainers to new, whilst the messy tablet retainers were still biofilm. It was this irrefutable evidence coupled with its sleek design that led thousands of dentists to recommend the dental pod to their patients. And after garnering countless testimonials and reviews, the dental pod was voted the must-have product of the year by dentists, sparking a retainer cleaning revolution. Our mission is taking over, giving everyone access to the best professional-grade dental technology in their own home and helping dentists worldwide reverse the retainer tooth decay crisis by enabling a safe oral appliance journey for all. Click this exclusive link for access to their biggest Black Friday sale. Limited quantity available.
Let's get it. That's one Kirkshank, your one and only. Will Swiftly speaker checking in for a daily. Will Swiftly thought giving you a perspective on teamwork. We will not get anywhere else if we do not teach how to rise to the occasion here, folks. But we teach how to fall to your level of preparation. Your first day of the month, first day of December, first Monday of December, last Monday, not last Monday, set forth the fourth to last Monday. It was long story, so you got to know what I'm saying. Forgive me, I just did an impromptu 8 miles. See, the plan was actually 6, and then the adrenaline and the topic and all the things I'm going to be talking about all week, it pushed me to go another 2 miles here because it just, again, hey, it's like last week, right? I mean, it's like yesterday. Here I am, supporting a team that took an L. Now, I will give the respect because they did push what looks like one of the better teams in football, the Denver Broncos. We pushed them into overtime, so there's something to build on there. But hey, a loss is a loss. A fucking loss is a motherfucking loss, and another motherfucking loss. All right, and it's perfect. Actually, it's perfect seeing that today's topic and today's Make You Move Monday question and everything we're going to be discussing throughout the week is how to process this shit. How exactly do you process all the losing? All right, I mean, and it's going to happen. If you're going to be in the game, it's going to be whether it's the game of football, game of life, game of entrepreneurship, the game of love, and being with somebody. You're going to lose a lot. There's going to be a lot more losses than you take wins, which makes the question. What's up, brother? Which makes the question losing. Did you lose? Did you actually lose based upon the way you played and based on the way you actually went after whatever it is you wanted to have, whatever it is you were hoping to get, right? The foundation, all that kind of stuff, right? So again, allow me to kind of readjust and reset everything we're going to be discussing today. Today's Make You Move Monday. Make You Move Monday kickoff question. If you're new around here, we do this every single Monday. Have something called a Make You Move Monday kickoff question to get you as a business owner on track, on point, thinking the right way, up to something thought-provoking, and making sure that you're actually moving and building the foundation that you need to be building in your organization, right? Today's Make You Move Monday kickoff question is, how do you process the losses? How do you process the rough days, the losing, the surface level losses, the huge losses, the losses that are coming? You don't want to say it out loud. How do you process the losing that and it is absolutely inevitable? All right. And for those of you who do not know, the way it works is I'll put a question out there, I'll answer it for myself, and then hopefully you take some of it and you apply it to your own life. And then tomorrow I'll take I'll dive deeper into all of this in the live stream later, about 30 minutes from this recording. And also tomorrow we'll dive into the top 5 Tuesdays of how to process it in a certain way. But to answer the question bluntly is I vent. I fucking vent. I vent. I get it all off my chest, whether I got to write it, whether I got to scream about it, I vent. I absolutely lose my shit because I never get over these losses. Never. At no point, whether you're losing a person, whether it's a breakup, whether it's a missed opportunity in business, whether it's an actual game, I don't get over it. I vent it out. I get it all. And then I move forward to the next level. And I strongly recommend now, your way of venting and how you vent and how you get it off and how you sort of get shit off your chest and move forward, I recommend you have a way of doing it. It doesn't have to necessarily be the way I'm doing it now where I just want to scream and yell and say, damn it! Because, hey, everybody's not the same, but I do recommend you get it off your chest so you're allowed to take in the lesson. And I'll close you guys out just with this concept, this understanding. One of the great leaders of our generation of all time probably is a guy named John Maxwell, who once said, sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. All right, hear me. There are no losses if you learn from them, if you set your mind up to where when you go about how you go about winning things and how you go about pursuing difficult things and pursuing tasks, is you do it in a way where you're always constantly learning. Now, you have to learn just as much in the wins as you do in the losses, all right? So there's a certain way of processing it, certain things you have to get off and get it out so you can allow yourself to compete again for the next thing and the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, all right? So, again, we'll dive deeper into all this. I give my analysis, my breakdown of the Michigan Wolverines, getting to ask about Ohio State again, and just trying to talk about where I was last year in terms of both my teams, both the Commanders, Commanders were damn near almost a Super Bowl team, almost made it to the Super Bowl last year, and now we just officially got eliminated. Last year, again, Michigan didn't have a good year at all. They had a terrible year, but at least we can say we still beat Ohio State, which, again, we can't say that this year now, so it was just a bad year in terms of who we beat. We didn't beat anybody really significant and all that. So, again, I'll dive deeper into all that in the live stream in about, like I said, 30 minutes from this recording. Main website to check out to dive deeper into all the work I do, makeyourmove.com. That's MakeYourMove.com. One-stop shop for your teamwork and your self-development needs.
A is one Crookshank, you want to know Move Swiftly speaker. All right, good morning, good afternoon, good whatever time of day you're consuming this material. Again, as one Crookshank here, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, former Division I college football player and current 6-time published author and educator. I created this whole brand, this whole business, this whole concept. That's all about, hear me. It's all about taking the innovative teamwork lessons that you learn on the football field, applying them to business owners, so they have a group of employees or staff that moves as efficiently, as cohesively as that championship DNA, that championship mindset, the same way a high school or youth football team have. Those championship mentality where, again, just because you're a champion does not mean you're not going to take any losses. You are not devoid of losses. And I've experienced some heartbreaking ones to the point where like you heard just now, I do not get over these things. I do not. Some games, man. Some games I can sit up here and talk to you for hours and hours and hours and hours about certain games, what I could have did right and what I did wrong and how we lost and this happened and that happened. It's an insane feeling, but I don't get over these things. I never get over these things because it's always all right. How to be applied to the next day. So before I get too deep into the topic, let me just again, website. If you're interested in employee development, just hit up. Just go to makeyourmove.com. It's MakeYaMove.com. Here, you get every information you need on me. It's right here. You can order books. You can book me to speak. Or just, hey, please just ask one Crookshank guy that keeps popping up on my internet, that I'm popping up on my feed, always running and motivating people and all that. Yeah, and all that information is available here on makeyourmove.com. All right, let's jump right into the topic today because I got as you can tell, I got a lot to get off my chest. Actually, before I even go there, this is what I said before this article came out 2 days ago. All right, 2 days ago, which makes it was, go there. 29th, right? That morning, I believe, right? The Friday. Yeah, the Friday. I wrote this the Friday, right? And I put it out there. I put it out there right there. Again, I got to eat crow. I got to eat it. I got to eat it. I put it out there right there. Make sure this gets included in whatever it needs to be included, right? I said, say it again, win or lose, I'm with Michigan all day, every day, but we're not losing. Let's go 5 straight. Right there in ink. I'm marking it down and saying, hey, I own it. I'm going to own it, and said we needed to win, right? And I was beyond disappointed, beyond disgusted, beyond heartbroken to watch how bad it got. Hear me, folks. Hear me. And then again, I wasn't totally wrong. I'm going to get to the article in a second. Just let me get this off a little bit, right? I said in the article, the team, if we can run the ball, if we can develop a running game and slow the game down and develop some drives, then we will win the game. Hear me. The team that won the game was the team that won the rushing battles. We had -8 yards rushing. Understand, listen, the game was somewhat feasible, somewhat in shape coming out of the half. All right. Now, Ohio State, they get a late score in the half. Hit a late score to end the half, and now we're down by 2 possessions. And the game could have completely been over if Ohio State comes out at halftime, drives the length of the field, and then they go score again. That would have been the end of the game right there. But the defense stepped up. I got to give the defense credit, because they stepped up and they stopped them in that moment. At that point, the offense needed to make something happen. The fact that the offense went 3 and out, the game was over at that point. At that point, that early in the third quarter, that was the difference. Defense wins championships, folks. Defense, again, and we're gonna talk about it. Trust me, I'll get there. Just give me a second. But we're gonna talk all about how excited we can get with these quarterbacks, and excited we can get with these receivers, and excited we can get with all these finesse positions. But the game of football is played defensively. Who can stop the other person? Who can stop? That is the saying. That is what I understand. That is what the truth is. That is what we used to be about. All right. And for us to get dominated to that point after spending $12 million, you spent $12 million. You spent $12 million on an 18-year-old kid, and he produced -8 yards offensively. -8 yards offensively, and it was $12 million. All this bullshit, all the hype, all the oh man, we got Bryce Underwood. I mean, I can remember after the game last year when we beat Ohio State with Davis Warren at quarterback, where there were people coming out saying, oh, well, Ohio State's never going to beat Michigan again because we got Bryce Underwood, and now Bryce Underwood's going to turn our offense into this juggernaut. We're going to put, and I said it. We go back, look at the receipts, look at the video I posted. I did a live stream last year at this time saying, I will caution us as Michigan fans not to get too excited with this one quarterback because it doesn't fit. It's not how you win football games. You don't just win football games because you have one good player, one talented quarterback. You need the pieces around him. You need the foundation. -8 yards offensively. I don't even know if that. How the fuck do you get -8 yards? You got -8. This is what I'm saying. And I love me some sure. Listen, Sharon Moore. I love Sharon Moore. I love the story. I love the whole thing. I mean, he's an O-line guy. I respect him. I do. But to have -8 yards coming out of the half, you cannot be. Yes, I said Ohio State has an all-time great defense. They have an all-time great defense. But -8. Now, you didn't even break the day. You didn't even get to 0. How do you not get to 0? You know how that is crazy to me. I don't know if I've ever seen a football game, and I've been watching this shit since I was a little kid, 7 years old, started playing. -8 yards offensively. That's what we had. And that, to me, the bigger loss was not the loss was not in the scoreboard. Okay, you want the scoreboard to look different, obviously, and you want to win the game. But the biggest loss was the fact that us, the Michigan Wolverines, the team that just 2 years ago had the Joe Moore Award winners, we as offensive linemen, we ground, Mr. Smash, Mr. Yeah, we gonna run it down your throat. No matter who we play, we're gonna come out and we're gonna punch you in the mouth. For you to see that stat line was insane to me. That was the loss. That hurts more than the actual loss. Is to see the stat line at -8 yards offensively, -8 yards. So again, accepting that brought about a lot of different lessons. It brought about a lot of different things in terms of just the teams and the squads I rock with. I'm a loyal guy, man. I win, lose, or draw. You're gonna Michigan Wolverines, Washington Redskins, Good Counsel Falcons, Stony Brook Seawolves, all because Stony Brook and Good Counsel is where I actually played. So I'm always going to be loyal to the schools that I rock with. When it comes to Michigan, I became a fan because of those wing helmets. And I used to wear those wing helmets when I was a kid playing for White Oak Warriors. And then obviously growing up in Silver Spring, Maryland, you become a diehard Redskins fan. And I'm still calling them the Redskins Commanders, whatever they are. We're going to rock with our teams regardless. But there's a lot of lessons to be learned when you look at, because I look at Michigan and the Commanders as two teams that I was never going to actually be good enough to play for. So I get to talk about them like they're my team. They're my team. Sorry. If they're doing well, like they were doing last year or the year before, you get to talk about them and feels good, right? Feels good. But now, can you talk about them when they're playing shit? When you talk about them when they're playing like ass, playing like complete ass, both of them. And why they're playing like ass, where it came from, what it started, was the fact that they got so enamored, and everybody, the entire fan base, got so enamored and so excited about one player, whether it's Bryce Underwood or whether it's Jaden Daniels. All right, we're all guilty of this. Whether I'm talking to the Michigan fan base now, or whether I'm talking to the Washington Commander fan base right now, we got excited with one player, and it ultimately has hurt us. It's hurt us, and it's setting us back, setting us fucking back. To both of those players. I mean, again, Bryce Underwood, it's still out on him on what he's going to look like. But I'll tell you, as a person who has watched every single game of his college career now, he is going in the wrong direction. At this point of the season, there were throws that he was absolutely missing. He was missing. There was wide open first downs that he was absolutely missing. Now, granted, you're going against a defense that is unprecedented, a damn good defense, but you were missing these throws, all right? You can't blame the coaches. You can't blame the play calling, but you can only blame them for so much, for so long. And at this point, like Coach Sharon Moore said, you're not a freshman. All right, that's one end. Now you look at my pro team, the Commanders. You don't have Jaden Daniels, right? You don't have the ability to get out the pocket. Now, Marcus Mariota, I watched him last night, makes a ton of mistakes. I mean, a veteran his age should not be making some of the boneheaded shit that he was doing, but Jaden Daniels, again, he's one guy. And it was, oh, man, we ready to roll. So the question now is, just like you heard me say in today's News Swiftly Thought, how do you process the loss? Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. Not sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Sometimes you have to learn. Here's what I'm here to teach you all. One of my superpowers, what this business and this brand is built on, is seeing what you see on the football field and applying it to what you're going through as a business owner right now. You cannot get too excited with one player. You cannot allow one person, cannot overpay one person or put the entire franchise, put the entire program, put the entire organization on one person's back and expect a positive result. You got to balance that shit around. I mean, I was sitting there watching the Ohio State Michigan game, thinking about the quarterback that they could have started with Jaden Davis, and thinking about if that $12 million would have been spread around to getting a pass rush, right? Getting a fucking pass rush and some offensive linemen, getting more running backs in the room, whatever. That $12 million could have went a long way as opposed to giving it to one kid who was insanely talented kid, but obviously his talent isn't going to be the one thing that dictates a win and a loss. Okay, that's the issue. That's the issue. So let's get into the article today. So, Making Move Monday kickoff question. How do you process losses? I mean, look at this shit. Look at this bullshit. Look at this bullshit right here. You got Ohio State, of all teams, coming into the big house and embarrassing us like that? The disrespect that I had to watch my Michigan Wolverines take. Oh my God, this one hurt. This one hurt. This one hurt, as you can tell. It still fucks with me because it's still kind of raw. I could not believe this shit. I mean, you got the crowd, you got the squad, you have the ability. You come out and you go up 6-0. You come out, you go up 6-0. This is the way the game went. We get the ball, you go up 6-0, and you don't capitalize. Ohio State get the ball on offense, they throw an intercept. I mean, they not 6-0. You get down there and you go up 3-0. You settle for a field goal. Ohio State gets the ball, they throw an interception. You have the ball with the short field. You don't pop one in. You still settle for field goals. You're up 6-0 when you have the ball in the red zone twice. And you couldn't punch it in. Michigan Wolverines, you couldn't punch it in. Okay, you know what? Because I'm gonna start doing this. All right, so here we go. And then again, this was the scene, like the one that actually hit me the most because that's the silencer, bro. That's Bronny Braun, little bro, a silencer on us. All right, let me get into the article. This is why I'm always reading through the articles because I can just start venting and talking shit. But anyway, making a Monday kickoff question: how do you process losses? I'm writing this up, and I this is what I did. I wrote right after the game. I went somewhere and I wrote this article out. So it was just like an hour after because I needed to get my shit off. Right. So I'm writing this about an hour after watching the Ohio State Buckeyes kick the shit out of my Michigan Wolverines. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, it hurts. Yeah, I'm sick to my stomach typing this. Just yesterday, I made the bulk of that. I wrote this the day before. So just yesterday, I made the bold, loud, chest out statement that Michigan would make it 5 in a row. 5. And today, sitting here with nothing but frustration, silence, and a whole lot of regret for talking all that smack with zero payoff. It hurts, man. It really does. All right. And that wasn't enough. Let's talk about, again, because listen, right, yeah, diehard Michigan fan, but when you're into the football world like I am, you say to yourself, okay, they lost, but let's look forward to tomorrow. Let's look forward to Sunday, see what my NFL team does, and maybe that will sort of balance things out, and shit out. No, that didn't work. That didn't work because look at who my team is on the pro level. It's damn Commanders who look like shit all year. Not even competitive in a lot of their games, right? So here we go. And it wasn't enough. Let's talk about my Washington Commanders, another team that's been catching ass kickings all year. I've publicly talked a lot of stuff to talk shit about how we're going to be back to the NFC Championship conversation. But these dudes are now basically playing for a draft pick in 2026. It sucks, it infuriates me, and it drains me. It drains me, guys. Yes, it does. It absolutely drains me to see my team fucking losing, man. It's not okay. It's not. It's just fucking not. All right, this damn losing is not. I'm gonna get back. The ugly truth about 2025 football for me, all right? This whole football year has been one long L. It's wild because just a year ago, I was still enjoying the high. I was still in this, all right? Enjoying the high from Michigan winning the 2023 national championship. Even though the 2024 team was trash, we still beat Ohio State, still punched Alabama in Tampa. I was there, front row, watching it with pride, and I still had a story. There was hope, right? There was hope. But this 2025 season, man, this ain't it. Michigan got bullied. Washington is ass again. All right. And the truth is painful. I hate the losing. I hate it. My personality, all right. So you guys are clear. My personality, if you're new around here, you guys know. Or if you're not new around here, or if you've been around here, you guys know. If you're new around here, you get ready to find out. You're probably finding out as you continue to listen to me. My personality is tied to this game. My business is tied to this game. My creativity, my content, my energy, it all flows through how my teams perform. All right. So when both my teams are down bad, I feel it everywhere. But okay. I've vented enough. Let's get to the question. I know it took me fucking 25 minutes to get to the question, but I had to get it all out. I had to vent it out because it has been fucking terrible. Let's get to the question. Guys, because I'll just keep talking. So the question: how do you process losses? How do you process the L's? Because they're inevitable, as you heard. They're inevitable. You can see they're inevitable. You be involved in this game. You go out to compete. You play. You try certain things, and you want to go and do this and do that. The losing is inevitable. It's going to happen. You got to figure out a way to process the shit. You got to figure out a way to accept it and move the fuck on and figure out how you're going to get to the next level. And I don't think there's a greater teacher in that than the game of football, because it will happen. And the question is going to become, how prepared are you and how quickly can you bounce back? All right. And that's where we're going to go this week. Is how can you bounce back from these just catastrophic losses and losing over time, like losing this, losing that. In fact, my boy, one of my good friends, former teammate of mine, Danny, was on this live stream 2 years ago, I believe. about a year and a half ago now, and he played football at Duke, and he was he was telling me how his Coach Cutcliffe would say, "Hey, there's gonna be a time in life where you wake up, your wife is gonna be crying, you're gonna be hungry, your kids are gonna be crying because they're sick. There's gonna be the AC's not gonna be working, the bills up here, doing this, and you have to wake up that morning. You have to figure it out, figure this shit out." And that is what the game teaches. It teaches it's a molder of men because it's going to feel like the damn roof is caving in at some point, and you have to figure this shit out. I don't know how it's gonna happen, but you have to figure it out. You have to process this shit. You have to process it in your way, and the longer you take in terms of processing it, the longer it takes for you to get established, get your footing back, catch your stride. All right. So for Top 5 Tuesday, for tomorrow's Top 5 Tuesday, I'll be walking you through a full blueprint on how to properly handle losses. But today, let's just generalize it. We'll just generalize it because I like to keep these around the 20-minute. I knew I was going to go over today because of what we're going to talk about, but I do like to keep these around the 20-minute mark. All right. So the loss is universal. All right. We all lose something. Everybody listening to me right now, everybody talking, everybody that is within the sound of my voice has lost something, and probably lost on multiple occasions, whether it's a game, whether you lost friends, whether you lost money, you lost opportunities, you lost significant others, you lost family members or significant others that became like family members, whatever you've lost. You lose a lot, right? Loss is part of being a human being. And it's the very first thought that hits my mind. The very first thought that hits my mind every single time. And you guys already heard the quote if you've been in here since the beginning. It's a quote I've lived with. I'm a coach I've lived with the entire year. Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. Hear me. Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. Mr. John Maxwell once said, sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. This quote has been tattooed on my mind for most of 2025. So what did I learn today? And what am I obligated to teach you? Lesson number one. And I've already sort of kind of stepped on it and explained it to you, but let me break it down to you in a full-blown fashion so you can translate that into your world, all right? Number one player will not save you. I don't give a shit how much hype they have, what position they play, or how many stars were next to their name. Let's look at the reality. My Washington Commanders, Jaden Daniel, Heisman winner, Rookie of the Year, hype machine. In year two, when defensive coordinators finally had film on him, when people knew what to expect, he didn't make a damn difference. He didn't do shit this year. He did not do shit this year. All right? Not a damn thing. Because people were ready for him. Even if you want to look at the play that he got hurt, it was because he tried to pull it and then run and stuff. Again, people were ready for him this year. Same thing. And I don't even like to use the term. I don't even want to put it out there, but it's necessary in this context that you have to actually look at RG3's career and say, shit, this might actually be an RG3 situation, because first year he lit the damn league on fire, but the style and give defensive coordinators an opportunity to see what he's all about. Boom, he couldn't do shit year two, right? And then his backup, Kirk Cousins, goes on and has a much better career than RG3 ever had. Same, obviously not the exact same situation, but a similar situation that's going on with Jaden Daniels. Hey, rookie year, he lights the league on fire, comes out this year, and he's just not the same guy. He's not healthy, all right? That's with the Commanders. Now, Michigan Wolverines. Last year at this time, we're all celebrating. We as Michigan fans all jerking off like, oh, we got the number one recruit, and we did this, we did that, we back. Bryce Underwood paid over $10 million to stay home and decommit. He decommitted from LSU, and Michigan's supposed savior, the golden child, one player, one paycheck, one promise, and none of it matched the expectation. Not one thing. I even said it a year ago on my live stream. Again, like I said, I'd already stepped on these points, but I had to write it out to fully give it to you guys. I even said a year ago on my live stream, warned all my fellow Michigan fans that this might not turn out beautifully because history never lies. For 25 straight years, the winner of the rushing battle wins the game. Period. End of story. It always has, always will. This year, we didn't win the battle. We didn't win that battle, and we didn't win the damn game. That's it. So again, if the goal is to win a national championship, again, this is the Michigan way, the Michigan goal here. You beat Michigan State, You beat Ohio State, you win a Big Ten championship, and then you go win a national championship. That's the four. Those are the four things that every single diehard Michigan fan will tell you. It's you beat Michigan State, you beat Ohio State, you go win a Big Ten championship, and you go win a national championship. All right. If the goal is that, then the money should have been going to develop the run game. The money should have been going to keep the run game and keep the front seven intact, to go get a pass rush. You did not need to spend that much on him, and I get how exciting it is. Yeah, he's a local kid, and he wants to be a Michigan Wolverine, and he's the number one prospect, and we need a quarterback. Offense sucks. I get all that. But $12 million for a damn 18-year-old unproven kid. And now I could be a little excited because I'm a fan of the team, and we are only in year one, and it's we started a lot of redshirt freshmen this year. We lost basically both our two running backs, and there's a ton of excuses I can sit up here and make about how we regressed to the point where Ohio State just basically smacked us around. But we're not going to do that. We're going to just look at ourselves and say, yo, it's like Dave Portnoy actually said on his live stream after the game. He goes, look, Michigan men don't make excuses. And I would even replace this as real men who are really a part of this game, who really want to build some. We don't fuck around and make excuses. The decisions we made is what led us to that ass kicking, straight up. Now we got to fix it. All right? So how do I process losses? So I say all that to get to this question, because what I do is I'll put the question out there and then I answer the question myself. Here's the truth. I vent. I let it out. And next week, you'll see me again. I'll be wearing my Commanders and Michigan gear like a maniac, because I have a psychotic, emotional, irrational love for these teams. Okay, that's my version. It's not perfect. It's not healthy at all. I'll tell you right now, it's not healthy. All of this with a full head of hair, like a full head of hair. You still see a little something up top, but all of this was, somewhat vibrant at one point. But again, you get involved in this, all of this start losing the shit. Okay, it's not healthy. It's not but it's honest. All right, tomorrow I'll give you a cleaner, healthier blueprint, something you can actually use in business, leadership, and life. But today I'm just sitting in the pain, because the pain teaches, pain exposes, pain builds you. All right, and again, this is what I'm expressing to you and making clear to you all. It's very important as a business owner, because you have to develop your staff. You have to develop the people around you to handle these losses, to handle these difficult situations. So again, all that being said, the main website to check out the dive deeper into all the work I do in terms of employee development is makeitmove.com. That's MAKEYAMOVE.com. One-stop shop for your teamwork and your self-development needs. As one Crookshank, one and only move swiftly speaker. Check it out. You guys continue to move swiftly. We will talk more soon.